Alright, so we're going to be talking about matrix multiplication. Super fun, super cool stuff. It's actually not that bad. It's pretty lengthy. It can get pretty extensive, especially if you're multiplying some large matrices. But overall, it's not that difficult of tasks, not that difficult of a concept to grasp. It's just where, and like I said in the last video, like just understanding matrices as its own language, as its own kind of mathematics. So this is a diagram I created, or not that I created, that I found. What it represents is two matrices. So here's your matrix bars, your brackets, right here. 1, 2, and all these boxes are the entries, the numbers, you know, so you could write 7, 4, 3, -1, you know, and there's your matrix. But this is just a representation of that. And more specifically, this matrix here has 4 rows and 2 columns, while this one has 2 rows and 3 columns. So I wrote those right here, 2 by 3, 4 by 2. And one main thing for matrix multiplication is that if we have an m by n matrix multiplied by an m by n matrix, these two numbers must be the same, the exact same. Otherwise, we can't multiply them, and you'll see why in a second. And another cool trick is that your answer, your final product matrix, will be this. It'll be an m by n matrix if these are the same. So if we look over here, these are the same, right? We're multiplying this one by that one. So 4 by 2 times a 2 by 3. So the 2's are the same, and our answer matrix is going to be a 4 by 3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a 4 by 3. We got 4 rows, 3 columns, and that's because when we multiply matrices, what we are doing is for each entry in the new matrix, we're combining the other rows and columns of the other ones. So what we're doing is taking the rows. So if we're taking the top, or if we're finding the top left entry of the product matrix, we're going to take the top row of the first matrix and the first or the left column of the second matrix, take the products of those, and that'll be our first entry. So what this is, right here, the top left, is going to be A1 times B1, because it's top left, plus, and we still have more entries, the top row, we're still in the top row, so A2 plus, or not plus, that one's times, B3. So like I said, we're taking the top row and the left column. So if it's this matrix times that matrix, it's the top row, A1 times B1, and then A2 times B3, so top row, left column. And then if we go to the bottom row, right column, it's going to be the same thing, but respective to where its location is at. So if we're in the bottom right, we're going to be looking at the bottom row. So we've got A3, and then the right column, so B2. So A3 times B2 plus the second one's A4 times B4. And that's going to be our entry for this block. And so from there we would have to find this one and this one as well. But that's just to give you an idea of that. I believe I have one more diagram here for you that kind of says a similar thing as I erase all of this. Over on the side here, you can't see all of it, but it's just a 4 by 2 matrix again, times a 2 by 3 matrix. And if we have a 4 by 2 multiplied by a 2 by 3, like we said last time, those are the same. We can multiply them together. and our product matrix is going to be a 4 by 3. And as you can see, each entry here is the combination that I was just talking about. So top left entry is going to be A1, B1 plus A2, B4. So you're taking the top row and the left column, multiplying each single entry together, or adding those products together, and that is your one number entry. So it's a lot of little tasks that go into each single entry. So it's pretty tedious, but really it's not difficult per se. So we'll go ahead and go for an example here. I'll just keep this diagram up. I'll find my black marker. So what we're going to do first is we're going to check if we can even multiply them. We see that this is a 3 by 2 times a 2 by 2. We'll check these numbers here. Good. And we know that our final product matrix is going to be a 3 row by 2 column, right? And in this top left entry here, so we could even do squares if we wanted to. Let's just do squares. Yeah. So here's our final product matrix. What we do is we take the top left, -1 times 3 plus 3 times -4. So we have -3 plus -12, -15. And I'll write a final answer over here so it's easy to see. If we go to the next one, still in the top row, but it's on the right column now. So it's going to be -1 times 2 plus 3 times 1. So we have -2 plus 3, 1. That goes there. Next box, middle column, left, or middle row, left column. So 4 times 3 plus -2 times -4. So we have 12 plus 8. That is 20. We'll go over to this side. We got middle row again, right column. So we got 4 by 2 plus -2 times 1. 8 minus 2 is 6. We're getting there, almost there. Bottom row, left column, 5 times 3 plus 0 times -4. It's just 15. And then last but not least, we've got 5 times 2 plus 0 times 1, which is 10. So that's the answer to our matrix multiplication there. And like I said, it's not too difficult. It's just maybe a lot to keep in your mind. It's a lot to keep track of, and there's a lot of opportunities for mistakes. So take it slow. Be cautious. Be careful. But definitely something that you are able to do. So go get them, and we'll catch up with you next video.